All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I know it's been a while. I think it's been what 2 weeks or so
Hey,
that I
it's Kenny
haven't
Penta, and I'm on a mission to upgrade.
done a live stream. I know I should have done one when I was in Vegas. I was just so busy hanging out with the boys that it didn't dawn on me actually. Anyway, prep to adapt. Thank you for the 5x5. Flown grown. Ozark. Thank you for the 5x5. Dan Phillips. Thank you for 5x5. Hudson Valley. Thank you for joining me tonight. Adriana, thank you for joining me tonight. Blob, Beef and Chicken, Eric, Kathleen, thank you for the 5x5. Black Flag, William, Blackfoot, Loretta, Sheep Girl, thank you for the 5x5. Dow, sorry, thank you for the 5x5. Ozark Prepper, Patrice, J. Ross, Michelle, thank you for the 46x83. Patty, Maria, Sojourner, Big John, Johnny, thank you for the 5x5. Groundhog, Mamacita, Campus, if I messed that up, sorry. Water Tiger, Robert, 3%er. Kit, Paul, Peter, thank you for the 5x5. Lisa, thank you for the 5x5. Michelle Law, thank you for the 5x5 out of Iowa. Scarlett, Melissa, Eli, Rhonda, 76, Mr. Landfill, Gil Lewis, thank you for the 5x5. You are. Thank you, Franken Prepper. Summer, Callie, thank you for the 5x5, guys. All right, let's jump into it. So anyway, had a shitty cough a couple weeks ago, got rid of it. Come back from Vegas, get another cough, get rid of that. A week later, after coming back from Vegas, the cough comes back, and I wasn't anywhere but work. But anyway, such is life. It's what happens when you get fucking old, I guess. And Francine, Anthony, thank you for the 5x5. If I missed any, sorry guys, I apologize for it. So, tonight's topic, guys, is just that, just talking shit, right? So, we're going to talk about, whether nuclear starvation or pandemic is going to cause the world to collapse. I am so far removed from worrying about shit happening, I really don't care. But it's just a subject matter to talk about on the channel. That's all it is. I talked about the next Great Depression, and someone told me in the comment section, I don't know if I was arguing with a child or a retard, I'm not sure yet, but they were saying that the next Great Depression is only going to affect America and not the world. And too bad, I guess he hasn't read any books or whatever it was. He was just breaking my balls and telling me that the next Great Depression is only going to affect America. Anything that happens to any country financially is going to wind up affecting the world, regardless. Now, the duration, that's a different subject altogether. But, yeah, so I'm not worried about the financial collapse. That's why I'm not talking about it tonight. I mean, I'll talk about it later in the year, but I'm not worried about any of this shit, guys. I'm not worried about a nuclear war. I'm not worried about starvation. I'm not worried about a pandemic. I'm not worried about any of this shit. Like I said, it's just it's just talking points. That's all it is. Because there's so many things going on. Who the fuck knows what's going to be that curveball to take us out? And not take us out, but start the decline of society. Now, society is declining. Scientists have been talking about this for decades, probably since we were kids, if not younger than that, or far earlier than that, rather. Sorry. So we are seeing a more speedier decline in society in the way we behave with one another and the world in itself. So this thing that's happening, whatever it is going to accelerate. And obviously, guys, with any societal collapse, it always starts slow and then it starts speeding up, right? That's how it is with anything. When anything that's coming to a collapse, a demise, however you want to put it, it starts off slow and then it starts speeding up, like a rock out of the sky, right? Until it hits terminal velocity and then it stays at that pace. Truthful Troll, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I know the Angry Truth is back up and running. For those that might not know, I did take a hit yet again. Again, the Angry Truth is the sacrificial lamb. So should they shut that channel down, I'll have an Angry Truths too. Until they fucking clip my knees. But anyway, so tonight, guys, we're going to start with the flooding in San Diego. It's a shit show over there. I know a lot of you are paying attention. If you don't know what's going on in San Diego right now, San Diego's going through that 1,000-year storm. It's called an atmospheric river, which is just dumping water on them like buckets of water on them. And a lot of the areas in San Diego and surrounding areas of San Diego are flooding like it was Katrina. So it's actually interesting to watch a lot of videos of people standing on their roof waiting to be rescued. There is a video circulating of a guy with a bulldozer going through the streets, towing, I think it's a boat behind him, and people in the boat. I couldn't hear the audio, but it sounded like he was yelling at them. I don't know what he was yelling at them, like he's coming back, whatever it is. Somebody's saying the video stops. The live stream keeps stopping. If it is, I do apologize for that. I mean, again, it's YouTube and their bullshit, whatever. Mike, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. So anyway, guys, 1,000-year storm causes millions in damage to San Diego. And I think they're still going through it, and it's not over yet. So we shall see where that goes. Of course, it's going to cost millions in damage. People are always... People are always going to be like, the climate change is going to cost us millions. Weather emergencies are always going to cost money. There's no such thing. Guys, thank you for the 5x5 yet again. Joe, Nick, one shot, one kill, Truthful Troll. Thank you for that. Me, myself, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it. Send me a tab. No issues here. 5x5. All right, good. YouTube is... Water Tiger says YouTube is playing games. As per usual, so what they do. All right, guys, so a 1,000-year storm means that a storm of a specific magnitude has a 1 in 1,000 chance or higher of occurring in a given year. Didn't know that. Nor did I really care. A day after declaring an emergency due to an unprecedented storm that inundated San Diego County, the city's mayor, Todd Gloria, what a last name, huh? Imagine your last name being Gloria. Oh, my God. Visit the hard-hit communities in southeastern San Diego and detailed what is being done to help. I'm heartbroken. Yeah, whatever. I hate when these politicians are like, I'm so heartbroken to see what's going on here. Thank you for that. I'm so heartbroken. What's going? It's a storm. Every time I hear we're heartbroken and our heart goes out, it just sounds like bullshit. It really does. I mean, because these people don't lose sleep over this shit. They really don't. Anyway, state of emergency was declared Monday evening by the city of San Diego, the city of Coronado, that's where the Navy SEALs train, if I'm not mistaken, and the county of San Diego after drastic flash flooding overtook homes, roads, and buildings and wiped out cars and infrastructures across the region. Now, I did see a lot of videos, man, of a lot of cars and RVs floating down the street. So that does suck. And again, guys, this is why we prepare. Now, here's the catch. Mandy, thank you for the donation. Here's the problem with flooding and preparing. These people were unaware that this was going to happen to them. Now, granted, they were in a... Everybody's heard about the 1,000-year storm, and they heard about the magnificent flooding that happens behind it, but a lot of people didn't think that this was going to happen. So, again, guys, you could prepare till you're blue in the face. This is the curveball that can hit a lot of people, right? You could sit there minding your business. You got your generator, you got your food, you got your water, you got everything you need, and then this shit hits. This is going to put your preps underwater, without a doubt. And you're going to be on the top of your roof with everybody else, unless you have a boat and a bug-out bag, and you put that shit in a boat bug-out bag or raft, inflatable raft, and then you walk out of there. Now, bug-out bag, that's why I'm a big fan of them. There's been this movement of anti-bug-out bag movements. I don't understand it, Nonetheless, there are a lot of people out there talking about how they don't have a bug out bag because where they live is where they're staying and they're not leaving. That is a dumb way of looking at it. You should have your ass high. You should have the option of being mobile if something happens. And this is one of those case in points. A lot of people are like, this is why we prepare. This is why this is exactly why we prepare. And having a bug out bag during a bad flooding like this is what you need so that you can get the hell out of there. Yeah, you can't take your preps with you, but you can take your bug out bag and bounce. Always stay mobile. Staying mobile is going to keep you alive a lot longer than staying stagnant and in one place. Obviously, if you can't go anywhere because you're disabled, you're crippled, you're old, you're just fucking a pansy about leaving, that's one thing. But when something like this happens, you're not going to stay in your flooded home. You're going to leave. Anyway, let's get on with this. Nobody anticipated the severity of this storm. We knew it was going to be rain. Our storm crews were doing usual storm preps, like cleaning the storm drains, but the amount of water we saw yesterday would have overwhelmed any city drainage system, the mayor stated. This was unprecedented. None of us alive have seen anything like this. This is the mayor stating that. No shit. So again, guys, this is why preparing works. But there's also that side that the curveball happens. And there were any preppers in San Diego or the San Diego area, and this hit. Hopefully they had that bug out bag, and hopefully they moved out of there. Because again, there's nothing you can do. What are you gonna sit home and sit on the roof of your home in the rain, or are you gonna fucking put your bug out bag on and get out of Dodge? You're gonna get out of Dodge. Which, by the way, guys, there's this. I know I spoke about this before, but I'm starting to hear about this increasingly. This group, what are they called? Lone wolves or what the fuck are they called? I mean, we call them marauders, but they're calling themselves lone wolves or something wolves, where they're going out and taking people's shit, right? They're like, all I need is my firearms, and I'm going to go out there and take people's preps. I spoke about this 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? Why are people actively online talking about how they're going to take other people's shit? We know who the fuck you are. Like, why would you have a video saying werewolf preppers? Okay, werewolf preppers. Why are they calling themselves werewolf preppers? I don't know what that means. What the moon comes out, they change and they take your shit? What is that? That's dumb. Yeah, listen. Come by my home or anybody's home that I know that's a prepper and try that werewolf bullshit here. You're not going to last long. I don't understand. And then I don't understand why they're making this declaration online. Like, we know who you are, man. Why would, like, if we wanted to be proactive, we visit your home now and start beating the balls off you. Well, why would you sit there and make a declaration that we're going to take your shit because we got firearms? Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Dumbest thing, and I'm hearing more and more of it, and I'm really in awe. I'm just like, this is amazing. These people are sitting here talking about, yo, we're gonna be real and take your shit. Okay, there are a lot of places in America where you don't want to play that werewolf prepper shit. They will put you in a box in seconds. I don't understand why anybody's talking about it like that. I'm fascinated by the stupidity behind it. That's why. Yeah, someone said idiot preppers. I'm fascinated by the stupidity. I'm like, man, these people are that stupid. They're wholesomely stupid. I just never seen anything like it. It's fucking it's weird, man. People talking about, oh, we're ready to rock and roll. When it's on, we're gonna take your shit. Yeah, wolf meal. I mean, like, it shows how little they're into prepping, but I mean, like, but you're putting your face on, like, on here. I mean, what do they have masks that go along with their bullshit? I really don't know, man. Yeah, Oki Khan. They live in Fantasyland. Absolutely, they do. They have to, right? Do they think that this is John Wick or fucking the Matrix? They're gonna dodge bullets? I mean, like, how the fuck does this work? Are they recruiting other people like them, and then they're gonna call themselves a wolf pack, right? We're the wolf pack. We're gonna steal your shit. Get the fuck out of here, you nerd. Fucking talking that bullshit, talking that yin yang. They're just gonna get a fucking mouthful of lead. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand it. All right, so let me finish this article. Sorry. The state of emergency is declared in anticipation that resources and assistance from the state and federal government may be needed because the damage caused by the flooding was severe. Gavin Newsom, that piece of shit, on Tuesday has proclaimed a state of emergency in San Diego and Ventura counties to support recovery from the storm. Every time I hear Gavin Newsom's name, every time I see his face, I want to put my fucking foot in it. My foot in his face and my fucking hand down his throat, pulling out whatever the fuck. Because the guy, listen, he has to be part of the lizard people's society. He really does. I mean, this guy is talking about giving migrants, illegal immigrants, first home buyer rights. It's a bill that they're going to pass. I'm like, wait, what? How does that work? Why would you? I don't understand it. I'm fucking confused, man. But anyway, they want to give migrants first home buyer rights in California. It's a new bill that they're looking to pass. The bill was introduced last month in January, and yeah, the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard in my life. I never heard of such a thing. I'm trying to see if I can find it because I was doing research on it, and I couldn't understand what I was reading because I'm like, this can't be real. This can't be real. Yes, it's the bill is Assembly Bill 1840, which was introduced last month. It was introduced by Assemblyman Joaquin Arumble, whatever the fuck his name is. Would change existing laws to allow illegal immigrants to be eligible for the DREAM Act of all funds. For the DREAM Act, which will provide loans for down payments on a home, and the home can't exceed 150 grand. I don't know what the fuck they're buying at 150 grand. Or the loan on the home can't exceed 150 grand. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But anyway, we're going to talk about that more in depth later tonight on the Angry Truth channel, along with a lot of other insane shit that's going on with migrants. There are a lot of migrants, guys, in this country that are now committing illegal acts, and there are migrant crime gangs. That's what the media is calling them. They call them migrant crime gangs. These people, like I said before, I said in my video on the Angry Truth, what comes with migrants, guys? Bullshit. And the bullshit is here. And now these guys are sitting there in groups committing crimes to get by. That's why Eric Adams is doing what he's doing with that card. I mean, it's also for the food purpose, but I also think he's giving these migrants prepaid credit cards so that there's less crime. I think that's how and if you ask me, that's how terrorists work. If you don't give us money, we're going to commit crimes throughout your city. Because they're doing it here. There's a crime wave throughout this city now from migrants. They're locking people up, guys. They're catching people in the middle of crime, busting them in the middle of crime, and they're finding out that these people are migrants. And what's happening with a lot of the migrants, not all of them, but a lot of them, is they're getting kicked loose, and the migrants are leaving the city and going elsewhere. The migrants that beat up the cops last week, I think 3 of them were caught in Arizona on an unrelated charge, doing something else down there. They got out of jail with no bail, and they left. And what happens with migrants, guys, illegals. What happens with illegals is that they commit a crime, they get this no bail shit, they get out on no bail, and then they skip town. Who's going to look for them? A bounty hunter? Who's going to pay for that? Nobody. So these illegal immigrants, guys, are learning that they could commit a crime get out no bail, because they know what level of crime they could commit to get out of no bail, and then skip town. And then go somewhere else and do this shit all over again. But with that, guys, the criminal element follows these people everywhere. Everywhere. Every migrant. Guys, you got to hear what's happening in... Is it Italy? Or London. And I know those are two different places to get confused with. But somewhere in either the UK or Europe, the Egyptian migrants are running rampant. Or is it Africans in Egypt? God, I can't remember. No, it was Egyptian migrants. They beat up this fucking lady, and it was in London, actually. So it was Egyptian migrants in London. They beat the shit out of this, like, 76-year-old lady to rob her. Migrants don't bring anything to the table. Yet, for some reason, we have these Democrats saying that migrants make our country better. No, they don't. They don't make anybody's country better. There are countries stopping migrants from coming into their country because they know what it means. Migrants don't do anything, guys, but bring problems with them. Yes, there's a couple of migrants in there that want to work hard and want to create a better life for themselves. That's few far in between with the bullshit that's coming behind them. Anyway, migrants are fucking troublemakers, and that's all it is. And people are like, well, you can't label them all. The fuck I can. And watch me do it. Because that's all. 4 were caught in Arizona and indicted already. Good. John Poole said 4 of the migrants that were here in New York City were indicted in Arizona. And that's the thing, though. Egyptians in Italy. Thank you, Nowan. It was Egyptians in Italy. Sorry. And they beat up an Italian woman. It was an old lady that they beat up. Wow, she was 76. And they went down to Arizona and they learned the hard way. Arizona's not going to play with them. A lot of those states are not going to play with them. There's a lot of states that are not playing with migrants. I mean, even here in New York, you had Kathy Hochul, who only said it for votes, but she was like, they need to get deported. Eric Adams, again, who only said it because I don't think it's for votes, but maybe it is. He's like, well, we got to get them out of here. We got to get them deported. Now they want them deported. All of these liberals, guys, they sat there and said, we're a nation of immigrants. A lot of nations are nations of immigrants. A lot of nations weren't the original people that were there. But for some reason, America is the end-all, be-all bad country. Pronouns. Yeah. Pat Murphy's back on. Pat Murphy's having a meltdown, I think. They're in a midlife crisis or a meltdown. Illegals refuse to eat Spam because we're giving them monies to buy the food that they want because they don't like American food. Imagine you fucking came here. I don't want to get started because the American food thing only pisses me off because people who are coming here from European countries, African countries, and South and Central American countries are coming here and don't like our food. Then go back the fuck the way you came from. Oh, they want a taste of home. Then go back home and get a taste of home. Like, why the fuck you gotta come here and go, we don't like McDonald's and Five Guys? Oh, the fuck well. Fucking cocksuckers of America. I shit you not. These liberals are the cocksuckers of America. So fucking 1-800-COCKSUCK America. How can I help you? Yes, we want to fuck up America even more. Hold on. We got an idea. This is what they do. They sit there and they wreck this country. They sit there and they open arm, let every illegal in. Then shit gets real and they're like, oh, we're running out of places to put them. There are more migrant hotels popping up all over New York City now. They're even up by my firehouse. Guys like, oh, that's a migrant shelter. Oh, that's a migrant shelter. And I'm sitting there going, this is some fucking shit. This is some bullshit. Truthful Troll, my chair is still hanging in there. I mean, it still has AIDS. Still, you know. Still looks like shit, but whatever. Anyway, guys, moving right along. So, nuclear threat. Now, again, guys, this is a subject that's going to be real short. I'm not worried about it. I really don't care. I mean, everybody's threatening everybody. North Korea is throwing ominous warnings. So is China, and their mystery warnings about nuclear this and that. I'm like, guys, knock it off. No one cares. Russia was threatening nuclear use of weapons over Ukraine. China is flexing their nuclear muscle by telling everybody how much they have in their arsenal. They're like, we got 1 million warheads. No one cares. Because like a couple of people said in the description section, in the comment section of my last video on the Angryprepper channel, nobody wants to go full out nuclear war because nobody wants to rebuild anyone's country. A lot of Russia and China want the United States. They don't want to bomb the shit out of us to rebuild it. China doesn't have the money. China is going through a financial collapse. And they keep saying they are because of their real estate mistake that they made a couple years ago. Nonetheless, China doesn't have the money. And they're not going to destroy us, bomb us, and then do what? Rebuild with the money they don't have? So no, they're going to go a different route. Then you have, guys, YouTubers stating every week that nuclear weapons are being moved. And they're sitting there with their little pad, right, so they can feel important. They go, look at my sources. And they're not showing you because they're showing you the back of whatever the fuck it is. They're like, my sources are telling me that nuclear weapons are being moved from one side of the country to the next. They do this shit all the time. But yet these people on their sources, yo, your source can suck my... Nope, your source can suck your dick. Because your source is full of shit. These people do not have sources. They don't. Because their source has been wrong for the last 2.5, 3 years now, maybe, right? Fuck you and your fucking source. Your source could fucking eat a dick and shove a dick in his eye. Because your source is a liar, or you're a liar. And you're making this shit up as you go along. You have to be. These people have to be making this shit up. They have one picture of a nuke moving. They're like, guys, you see, right here in my notes from my source, they're moving nuclear weapons. They move nuclear weapons all the time, all the time. It's not a fucking new thing. And yeah, a lot of people are like, oh man, did you hear what he said? He said that they're moving nuclear weapons. Yeah, they move them like. It's just and these guys and their bullshit. The source thing really gets me. Guys, I can't give up any of my sources because you don't have any, you fucking piece of shit. It's just that, and it's the lying. Now, there's one thing, guys, that if they're doing this for show and they're doing this for views, I sort of get it. Sort of get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But to sit there and hold a paper in their hand and be like, look what it says here. But you can't see what it says here. And then sometimes they might show you. There's nothing on this piece of paper. Sometimes they might show you, but then what? They're fucking liars, man. That's all they are. And they know they're fucking lying. Piece of shit. Pieces of shit. A clipboard, yes. Maybe the notepad makes me look like an amateur. And the clipboard makes them look professional. They're like, because they got a clipboard and a pen and a fucking, or easel or whatever the fuck they use. Fucking guys and their bullshit. Guys, my source told me that something's about to go down. And when it goes down, it's going to go down even faster. Because it's going to go down. And that's the other shit they keep saying, it's going to go down. When the fuck is it going to go down? I'm sitting here waiting for it to go down. And I think a lot of us are now just entertainment purposes, but it's been supposed to go down so many times. It's gone down so many times that it's just down. Oh my God, they're like, guys, it's going to go down soon. Really? When? 3 years later? 5 years later? 10 years later, perhaps? Me and my clipboard said it will go down because my sources told me 2 years ago that at this moment it was going to go down because it's going down. You sound like a fucking asshole when you fucking say it's going to go down and then it doesn't go down. Fucking dickbag moron motherfuckers. Fuck them and their fucking clipboards. Hope they fucking shove the clipboards up their assholes sideways. The flat way, like shoving it up their assholes this way. And getting it, I hope they get splinters from shoving their clipboard up their asses. Because it's enough already with the fucking lying. And it's scaring people. And people emailing myself or Pinball or Hudson Valley, emailing us, do you think this is really going to happen? No, it's not. It's not. Listen, there could be a curveball event that happens that can set a nuclear war off. Absolutely. But we are not privy to it. We don't know what it is. Their sources don't know what it is. They don't. It's going to happen fucking fast. If it does, it's going to happen so fucking fast. We're going to wake up and be like, what the fuck just went down? But we're not going to sit here and pretend that we know. You can't. Yeah, right. It's about to go down. Whatever. Do I need whiskey? No, I don't need any whiskey. I'm trying to stay away from drinking. And even though, like, I have two 12-year whiskeys here that I need to finish, but I'm drinking whiskey like maybe now once a month, you know, because the alcohol's not good for you. You know, like, I mean, again, drinking like maybe once, twice a month is not bad, but like the way some people I know drinking it all the time. I'm drinking tea like a bitch. Because that's what happens when you get old and you get a cough. You wear a hoodie, you drink tea, and you can't wait to go to sleep. I didn't eat shit tonight. I didn't eat dinner. I'm fasting for 24 hours. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock I will continue to eat. But anyway, let's move right along, guys. Sorry about that rant. But it's just the fucking the source thing. You know, and it's funny because when guys are like, yo, my source told me, they say that because that suckers people into watching this shit. When they go, my source, or they hold up a clipboard. There's an actual YouTube lesson that I watched years ago, and it was talking about talking and speaking, and how when you hold a clipboard or a pad of some kind and you're reading off of it, it makes you sound more, not authoritative, but more convincing. And if you put glasses on and dress nicer and read off a clipboard and mention you have a source, you sound more legit. It's a game and a ploy. And I hate people who play games and ploys. If you are spoofing people, fine. But if you are constantly doing this shit and going, well, my source told me last night that this is going to go down. And it just might. Because they're fooling everybody. And people buy into it. Because people are easily strung along. When you learn these tactics for your YouTube channel or whatever the fuck you're doing, you employ these tactics and then you get people to watch your channel. And you get people to believe you. And you get people to go, well, you know what, man? That little bald black fella from Canada there, he's fucking, he knows his shit. Doesn't know a fucking thing. Doesn't know fucking if the media was going to fucking land on his face. He'd still tell you, oh, it was fucking Americans that set that thing in play. You know, and the worst part about him, about these guys, is that they also suck Putin's dick. Guys, government agents of any kind are the enemy to the people. All of them. I don't care who the fuck they are. They're the enemy of the people. They want nothing but control over us. And these fucking jack monkeys fucking play into this shit. By reporting shit that's not happening and making up things and making themselves look better by using big words. There's another YouTuber out there who likes to use big words for no fucking reason. You know? I mean, like, the dude economy of the, on the thingamabob. I'm like, why the fuck is he using these big-ass words? Just fucking use regular words, man, and you'll get your point across. But nope. They want to use intellectual, college-level words that sound more important because, again, people are easily wowed and they're easily strung along and they're like, man, he used those big words. That's a smart little nerd there. And you follow him. It's called a sucker's tactic, guys. They get suckers all the time with those tactics. I need to sit here and use big words and clipboard and glasses to get people to, I just tell people this is where I got my information from. And I'll tell you where I got my information from. I get it from the fucking internet. I get it from this source, that source. I will tell people where I got it from. I will not sit there and go, my source. Now, yes, do I have a couple of sources like an NYPD? Yes, I have two. Right? And I'm obviously, for the obvious reason, I can't say who they are because I know them. Right? But for example, like the cops that got beat up by the migrants. We're going to talk about that later tonight on the Angry Truth channel. The cops that got beat up by the migrants. I watched right-leaning YouTube channels say the cops were brutally beat up. They were brutally beaten. They were not brutally beaten. They got beat up. They got lumped up. There's a difference. There's getting lumped up and there's getting brutally beaten. And a lot of right-leaning asshole channels are saying they got brutally beat up. Who's the guy named Alan Graham or Graham Allen on Instagram? He's like, NYPD cops brutally beaten. And I'm like, no, they weren't. They got smacked around a little bit. One guy got a black eye and another guy got fucking bruised ribs or some shit. Lumped up, not brutally beaten. The Truth Factory, guys, is what I try to aim for. And I don't want to sit there and, make a case look bigger than it is for the sake of having migrants look bad. Migrants are already making themselves look bad. Illegal immigrants are already making themselves look bad. I don't have to make it look any worse. But to sit there and to address that they are brutally beating up cops, they're not. Those two cops got their ass handed to them, but they didn't get beat up. They didn't get brutally beaten. Brutally beaten, guys, is hospital stay, not a visit, hospital stay, and fucking both eyes shut, closed, broken ribs, the whole 9 yards. They got messed up. They got lumped up. I'm not taking away what happened to them, but a lot of people are trying to report it like they were hospitalized for a week and put into an induced coma. Anyway. So like I said, guys, we're going to talk about that a little more on the Angry Truth channel tonight. Also, hold on. I have to talk about this. Refuge Medical is doing a Refuge Ruckus that is starting March 8th, if I'm not mistaken, through the 10th of this year. They have a lot of guest speakers there. One of them is myself, PJ SK Fox, I don't know who they are, Cosmopolitan Cornbread, Nick Ferguson, The Daughter's Defense, I never heard of her, Bug Out Bob, and Ryan Swanson, Luke Abafti, if I said that, and Angry Viking Therapist. Angry Viking Therapist, if you don't know who he is on Instagram. You should absolutely go over to his Instagram page and follow him there. He'll be speaking there as well. If you are looking to attend and or buy tickets, contact Bear Independent or go on to, let me get this up again. Look up Refuge Ruckus at refugeruckus.com. You can go on there and see if there's any tickets left and see how you can attend from there. I will be getting more information in the coming weeks, being that it's next month. I will be attending that. So I'll let you guys know more information as we get closer. All right, guys. Now, we're going to talk about starvation real quick because the last thing I'm going to talk about is the next pandemics and the 9 or 10, diseases that they're watching really closely. So anyway, guys, starvation. That's another thing that I'm noticing is a bit of a ploy. Now, Ethiopia is going through a starvation problem again, and Somalia is going through a starvation issue again. I heard India is looking to go through starvation problems again. The United States is not. Now, the United States does have starvation issues throughout it, but that's for various reasons. But again, other YouTube channels are sitting there saying that we're going to starve to death. I have mentioned that before, that I thought the food shortages were going to get so bad that we were going to see starvation in this country. And then I started walking that back because I'm like, well, you know what, I'm wrong. Because I'm looking at what's going on, and I'm like, all right, we're not going to see starvation. We'll start to see food problems. And then we're not even seeing that. Now we're in 2024, and shit's okay. Could we see food insecurities here in this country? Absolutely. There are homes that have food issues as well. But as far as starvation goes, we're not going to see it in this country, at least anytime soon. Could we see it in our lifetime? Probably. But we're not going to see it anytime soon. There's a lot of things that have to happen before we start seeing starvation in this country. And right now, as far as food goes, everything's fine. There needs to be a massive problem with food and growing food and things like that. And we're not seeing that right now. But whatever. If we do see it, that's again why we prepare, guys. That's one of the reasons why we prepare. So we don't have to deal with that shit should there be a food shortage. If there is a food shortage, we're ready to rock and roll. A lot of us are. A lot of us are ready to grow our own food. So we don't have a problem. Now, what you call it? Is it Chicago? I saw the video where the lady was standing in the middle of a parking lot, and she was like, "You know, shit is bad when Walmart closes down, In-N-Out closed down on them. Was it In-N-Out? It might have been In-N-Out. Five Guys is still open. Chipotle closed down." She was naming all these places like in the middle of the parking lot, and she was like, "What can we do? Because crime is too high. Crime is so high because of George Floyd. Nobody wants to do anything now. There are a lot of cops in different cities that don't want to do a fucking thing, and crime is running rampant. And businesses are pulling out of places like Chicago or states like Oregon, states like Washington, because nothing's being done. You got Rite Aids and CVS closing down here in New York because nothing's being done. So a lot of places are abandoning ship, rightfully so. Anyway, guys, the U.S. is starting 2024 in its second largest Mr. 19 surge that ever. So this is the second surge they've seen. Now they're pushing this Mr. 19 surge because they want more people to take the arm ticket. So the United States, in the middle of wintertime, in the wintertime COVID wave, driven by holiday gatherings, people spending more time inside, warning immunity from low uptake of the Mr. 19 arm ticket. And then you have the newly high infectious Mr. 19 JN1. The Center for Disease Control's Prevent released an update January 5th about the prevalence of JN1, explaining that the new variant may be intensifying the spread of Mr. 19 this winter. Test positivity and wastewater data shows that there's an uptick in Mr. 19 in these two areas. So they're pushing this to get more people to take the arm ticket because, again, the arm ticket, people taking the arm ticket number dropped dramatically. And pharmaceutical companies are losing money. So they're going to push this and beat this drum. Now, global pandemic agreement at risk of falling apart, who warns? World Health Organization a couple weeks ago stated that the pandemic health agreement or pandemic agreement is falling apart because a lot of countries are not convinced, and also a lot of countries do not want to give their power over to the World Health Organization. That's why it's falling apart. Plans for a global pandemic preparedness agreement risk falling apart amid wrangling and disinformation. Disinformation coming from who knows who's spreading it. But nonetheless, people are not happy about giving their total control over to the World Health Organization. So I think that might be the disinformation they're talking about. And they're going to sit there and go, well, you're not giving us total control. You're giving us enough to make decisions for you for the next, whatever the pandemic is. Shaken by Mr. 19, the WHO's 194 member states decided more than 2 years ago to start negotiating an international accord aimed at ensuring countries are better equipped to deal with the next health catastrophe. The plan was to seal the agreement in the 2024 World Health Assembly, which is May 27th of this year, by the way. The WHO's making body, which convenes May 27. However, Tedros, the lead in the WHO director, said the momentum has been slowed down by entrenched positions and a tolerance of fake news, lies, and conspiracy theories. Now, keep this in mind, guys. The people who are involved in this pandemic agreement are countries, state heads, politicians, and even they are listening to the conspiracy theories and so-called misinformation about who and what's going on, and they're pulling out of this treaty, if you will, or agreement, or accord, however you want to look at it. So Tedros is now losing power, and the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum, who's also behind and pushing this agreement, if you will, are losing footing because of the shit that's going on and being said about them. Now, there are 9 pathogens that researchers are keeping a watchful eye on. Actually, 10 pathogens: Ebola, Marburg, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, Lassa fever, SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome, known as MERS, Mr. 19, Napa, Rift Valley fever, and Zika virus. Now, let's go over some of these, some of these explanations on the disease itself. Ebola and Marburg are within the same virus family. They're both hemorrhagic viruses, if you will, or bloody fevers, which is typically accompanied by bleeding from bodily orifices or internal organs. The family consists of 5 strains of Ebola, in addition to Marburg, an extremely similar virus that made headlines during the outbreak in Equatorial Guinea earlier this year. That was actually last year, sorry. On average, Ebola kills about 50% of its patients. Patients or infected, sorry. Though cause fatality rate can range from 25% to 90% according to WHO. Marburg also kills around 50% of those it infects, though case fatality rates range from 24 to 88%. Depends on where you are. Now, the 88%, the higher range, that the 90 and 88%, is 99% for Ebola, 88% for Marburg. That high range is for the elderly. So obviously, if you're over the age of, I think it's 65 or 60 years old, you're in the elderly range. You have an 88 to 90% chance of dying from Marburg, Ebola, and 88% chance of dying from Marburg. Right? So the older you are. The younger you are, you're in the low range of 25% for Ebola and 50% for Marburg. Now, Marburg is a lot deadlier, clearly. Marburg is 24 to 88%. Ebola is 25 to 90. But on average, Marburg and Ebola are 50% chance of dying, on average. Either way, guys, it's a painful way to go. If you catch either one, it's a painful way to go. All right, Crimean Congo fever. Like Ebola and Marburg, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness that can cause bleeding from bodily orifice. Symptom onsets are sudden and can include muscle ache, fever, dizziness, neck pain, backache, headache, sore eyes, light sensitivity. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and sore throat may also occur as well. Now, the first symptoms of fever, muscle ache, dizziness, neck pain, that's a day at work for a lot of people. Minus the fever, that's a day at work. The onset is 2 to 4 days. Agitation may turn into sleeplessness, depression, lassitude, I never heard of that. Abdominal pain may concentrate in the upper right quadrant, and the liver might become enlarged, according to WHO. Other symptoms may include fast heart rate, which is, I forgot what the hell it was called, enlarged lymph nodes, and rash throughout the body. Rash may grow. Hepatitis is usually present. After the 5th day of illness, patients may suffer failure of organs like kidney, liver, lungs, and heart. That's on the 5th day. So if you make it to day 5, you got a lot to look forward to because shit starts shutting down on you. Case fatality rate for this illness spreads by ticks and the tissues infected animals. Spread by ticks and the tissues of infected animals during and after slaughter. The fatality rate for Crimean Congo is 30%. Most patients who die do so in the second week of illness. For those who recover, generally begin to improve after the 9th or 10th day. That is 10 to 9 days of hell. They can keep that shit. Lassa fever, also like Ebola, Marburg, and Crimean Congo, hemorrhagic fever. Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness, but with a fatality rate of 1%. Not bad. I guess this is the one we rather have. It is far less deadly. The vast majority of infected with Lassa fever, 80% of them have no symptoms. For the other 20%, disease is severe. Symptoms usually start with non-specific ailments, not unlike COVID or the flu. Weakness and general malaise are presented. You also have, Jesus, this is a wide range now, headaches, sore throat, muscle pain, chest pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, cough, stomach pain. Facial swelling can also be present. Collection of fluid in the lung cavity and low blood pressure may also develop as well. This is with Lassa fever. Those who die of the virus usually do within 2 weeks of onset, according to WHO. That's good to know. We all know about SARS, that's severe acute respiratory syndrome. The world's first known Mr. 19 case occurred in 2002 when SARS-CoV-1, not 2, but 1, was reported in no other than China. Fucking China. It's like the petri dish of the world. Everything comes out of China. Symptoms include headache, body aches, mild respiratory symptoms, possible diarrhea, and the eventual dry cough and pneumonia sets in. SARS sickens about 8,100 people, kills about 10% of that. That's interesting to know. MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus. SARS was the world's first identified killer of Mr. 19, and MERS was the second. Discovered in 2012 in Saudi Arabia, it caused 2,500 cases and 800 deaths. SARS has not been detected since 2004. MERS continues to be reported throughout that region, and it occurred in Saudi Arabia last year in 2023. Then we all know about Mr. 19. You have NAPHA, which is a hemorrhagic, which is most lethal. It's the most lethal of, I can't pronounce this, but I'm going to try, paramoxavirus. It was first identified in pigs in Malaysia and Singapore. Yeah. NAPHA virus kills between 45 to 75% of people it infects. No licensed vaccine has been issued for it, though a vaccine by Moderna is currently in the works. Ha! So this is Napa, if I'm saying it right, Napa virus. Right now, there is an arm ticket in the works by Moderna. We all know where this is going. Rift Valley fever. This valley is known for causing massive devastation among livestock. While it can be transmitted from animal to other animals and to humans as well, it is not yet known the transmission from humans to other humans, but with viral evolution, that could change. Now, every virus that's out there right now, guys, every virus that affects animals, they are instantly saying that it could jump to humans. Every article I've read, anything that's going to infect animals, they always follow it up with, it could infect humans. Now, is that because of Mr. 19, or is that because they're looking to infect humans with this very same shit? There's a lot of people that are starting to wake up slowly because, matter of fact, I was talking to somebody at the firehouse about the arm ticket. And I was talking about how many people are passing away suddenly. And he's like, yeah, you know that there's a lot of people passing away. And I go, what do you think it is? He goes, it's the diets. I'm like, what? I'm like, how the hell? Why would you think that? He goes, it's the diet of people. People are eating like shit. And so all of these people are suddenly passing away because of that. And I said, no, man, it's the arm ticket. The very same arm ticket you took. He just gives me this blank stare like, you're such a fucking asshole. I go, I know, but that's what it is. You can't sit there and ignore the simple fact, guys, that the amount of people who have passed away in the last 3 years out of nowhere has everything to do with the arm ticket and nothing to do with diet, nothing to do with technology. The arm ticket. But again, guys, a lot of people are going to deny it because the simple fact is that's going to scare people. That the very thing they took that was supposed to protect them could possibly down the line kill them. A lot of people nervous about it. So these are, guys, the 10 pathogens that they are watching closely. They're not watching them closely. What they're doing is they're wargaming which one is going to be the harsh one, but not too harsh that it kills too many people, but not too light that it doesn't scare people enough to get them to take the arm ticket. Because I guarantee you, the next whatever it is that's coming through the system that they're going to set loose, that's going to scare more people because more people are going to pass away and more people will fall in line. Now, I know a lot of us won't. A lot of us purebloods are probably going to die on that hill. We absolutely will. We're not going to fucking sit there and be scared into taking some shit we don't need. Now, the other virus that they're worried about is the Zika virus. The Zika virus related to the a brain-related birth defect was declared a PHEIC by WHO from February to November of 2016. Most who are infected with the virus, transmitted primarily by mosquitoes, don't develop symptoms. Those who do usually experience symptoms experience rash, fever, conjunctivitis, muscle and joint pain, malaise, general malaise, headaches for 2 to 7 days. More troubling, infections during pregnancy can result in infants with those tiny Beetlejuice heads. I know, right? Imagine fucking having a kid come out of your vagina and has a Beetlejuice head. Scared the shit out of it. Probably throw the baby across the room. What is this? Is this Satan? And then fucking launch the baby across the room. Because he scared the shit out of you what you're fucking looking at. Because you don't understand what you're looking at when you watch a baby come out and has a little tiny head. But, yeah. That's the Zika virus. But the Zika virus, again, none of these viruses I'm worried about. Obviously, guys, if Marburg or Ebola became super infectious, like weapons-grade infectious, then I'd be a little worried. Because that's going to suck. If you get Ebola or Marburg, guys, whether you live or die, it is a painful virus to have on board. And a lot of people don't want to get that one. But as soon as they start, thank you, Mike, as soon as they start saying, we got an arm ticket, people are going to want to take that arm ticket. Sorry. People will take it because I guarantee you the next pandemic, should there be one, is going to be a lot scarier than the one we just went through with Mr. 19. So many people are going to fucking be terrified of it because it's going to kill more people. But yeah. Anyway, that was it, guys. I mean, none of this stuff I'm worried about. I stopped worrying a long time ago. A lot of it, like I said before, or I said in the beginning of the video, a lot of this is just conversation piece, man. Because whatever's going to happen, guys, we're not going to know about it. We don't have a clock. They're not going to tell us when they're going to launch the nukes. They're not going to tell us if that next war is going to lead into the next Third World War, like a legitimate Third World War, Mad Max shit. We might not even ever see that. We might never see that. But I will not sit here and act like we're about to fucking... I'm about to tell you what's going to go down and how it's going to go down. We don't know. We never will. Anyway, guys, I'm going to move over to the Angry Truth channel. We're going to talk about that real quick. And then I'm going to go to bed because I'm exhausted. I haven't had a good night's sleep in a while. Because I've been at work, right? It was Vegas, straight to work. And now I'm doing this. And then I'm going to fucking pass out and die in my bed. But anyway, I will see a lot of tachycardia. Thank you, Lenora. I couldn't think of the term about a rapid heart rate is tachycardia. Anyway, see some of you guys over the Angry Truth. I might have a Wednesday midweek report tomorrow. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the donation. I will see some of you guys in the Angry Truth, and I'll see the rest of you guys Thursday night or Friday night. I haven't decided. Thursday. It'll most likely be Thursday night. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you for watching.